All right. I am so excited to be with you today and have Toni Shiloh with me. We are going to be talking about her newest book, and I'm really excited about this book because it's a branch off. I mean, she's written great books in the past, so don't get me wrong, but it's kind of this new, not genre really, but sort of, because you're really experimenting with some different stuff in this new book that's called The Trouble with Love, and the cover is adorable. I'm going to show the cover on my phone because so you guys can see.
Yay!
Isn't that cute? Okay, so I think your name looks backwards. Does your name look backwards on me? Trouble with Love. Nobody can read it. Okay, it's the right way. On it's backwards. So it released which day?
It released May 26th.
Okay,
so a couple of weeks ago.
Not too long. And what the reviews for it so far have been spectacular. I mean, you have had people saying some amazing things about this story. They love the change that this switch, this new way you're going in your writing, this new setting. They've really had some great positive things to say, and I know several reviewers were saying things like, I don't usually like first-person books, but this one drew me in right away. So I would love to talk with you a little bit about what was the catalyst that kind of made you sort of switch from the third person to the first person? What kind of drew you to that idea?
So I read a lot, which comes as a surprise to nobody. And I read across a wide variety of genres. Besides Christian fiction, I do read a lot of clean romances. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them are written in first person. Yeah. Whether it's the adult ones or YA, they're in first person. And I just love the feel it gives the story, putting you in the one heroine's head, and you can just see the world in her. And it kind of gives me that like rom-com, anything can happen feel.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. So I was like, I'm scared to do this, but at the same time, I have to do this. Mm-hmm. So I went ahead and I just jumped and dived right in.
Well, and the plunge has been very productive so far because the response has been fantastic.
Yes.
It's been fantastic. I also think why people enjoy, if first person's written well, which clearly we're seeing from the responses to your book, if first person's written well, we get this intimate, though flawed, view inside of only one person's head. So the surprises are a little more fun to write, I would say.
Yes, definitely. And I like how you put that. We get the flawed view. And that's exactly what I did with Holiday's story. Because she has a flawed background. Her dad has been married 10 times. And because of that, she doesn't believe in love, let alone a godly love. And, she's a celebrity. That adds another extra layer because
of not being authentic, right?
Yes, exactly. They have that belief that, celebrities marry over and over and they divorce easily. So she's extremely jaded. So that's the viewpoint we get of her, which leads to some humorous moments, but some really authenticity with her as well.
Yeah. And what a beautiful way to, I think first person allows us, like exactly what you're talking about, that opportunity to grow. We grow with characters in third person too. And right. I'm not trying to discount that because I love third person.
Exactly.
But there's something very intimate about being inside of a person and watching their walk break down in their point of view, and watching them have to, we as a reader don't know what's going to happen next because we're only getting that point of view. So there's something about that I think can lend itself really well to contemporary, because you got the humor side too, you got the romance side too, but that spiritual side, wow, what an opportunity. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. And one of the reviews I got mentioned the faith aspect of it, how it was so real and how it's so intimate and how it showed God's love. And that's what I was going for. So I'm glad to see the reviews picked up on it. It's like one of the, phew, I did it
But that's
moments.
True. I think all of us feel that way, because I'm like, sometimes a reviewer writes something like, oh, good, it worked.
Yeah, it's like, I think it worked, but will everyone else think it worked? And it's total God moments in those instances.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. And I think, like, not that I'm saying book writing is the same as preaching, because I do think there's an element of calling to preaching that's a little different than book writing. But like preaching, God uses his word to minister to specific needs in specific people's hearts. And it may be one thing for the person beside me on the pew, or 6 feet from me on the pew, or something different for me. But the same word was preached. It just hit the need specifically for the different people. And I think it's a beautiful thing that God allows us to do as writers of fiction, to be little, messengers within his bigger plan for people's lives with our words. It's pretty intimidating too, and convicting, but it's also wonderfully rewarding.
Yes, all of those things.
All those things. Yeah. No wonder we act neurotic. Anyway, so you do something besides point of view switch. You do something, a couple of other things that are a little different than some of your past books. You are taking us into the city. You're also taking us, like you said earlier, into a celebrity life. Those are a little bit different. I would love to hear what kind of drew you toward that setting, and the celebrity what kind of research you had to do for that to really play that up.
Okay, so those are great questions. The setting, I just wanted something different. I love small town romances. I mean, they're great. Watch Hallmark all the time for them. Like, I can live off them daily. But I also wanted to explore how you could bring the city alive, still make it feel intimate, not overwhelming, but also showcase why people love the city. So that's was my idea behind that. And I actually did a reader poll on my Facebook page. I had 4 cities to choose from, and New York City won. So that's how I ended up picking that one.
Cool.
Yes, it was awesome. I had a little fun with that. And then I checked out the library, a bunch of New York books. Each lady in this series is a different kind of celebrity. Holiday, she's a pop singer. Mm-hmm. And then Tori is a supermodel. And then Octavia is a ballerina. So I had books for all of those as well.
Wow.
I watched Songland. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's sort of like The Voice, but for songwriters.
Oh, neat.
So, yes, they have a celebrity panel of songwriters and then a guest celebrity musician who they're basically hoping to write a song for them to perform. So I watched that to get in the head of the musician and the songwriter. She writes her own music. And then for the supermodel, I watched an entire season of America's Next Top Model.
You have to do that.
Yes, exactly.
And get all
so I did.
But you also get all the, I think the research for that would also give you all the, not critically, but lack of authenticity, and how people really are deep down seeking authenticity, even in a world like this.
Yes, which is why the second book's called The Truth About Fame. You hit it right on the nail. And then for the ballerina, I watched a bunch of YouTube videos. I read Misty Copeland's story, which was fascinating.
Oh,
yes. Yeah. I'm not really a big nonfiction reader, but that one, it hooked me in. So
not either. So I'm with you. I will read nonfiction, especially for research or for devotional, but it's not my usual. I do a lot slower reading with nonfiction than fiction.
Exactly.
So how fun. I mean, how fun that must have been. Like, you're stretching your writing muscles and trying out new things. And I think the excitement that you had must be coming out in the story, because so many people are really enjoying it. And I think that is true for authors. If we're really loving what we're doing, even though it's killing us because the research is like taking all the time, if we're really loving it, then it really shows in our writing, I think.
Yes, I loved this series. Like, I've enjoyed all my books, but this one, I just kept, messaging my critique partners, like, I'm really loving this story. Like, this is so much fun. Like, I can't believe this. Like, I can't wait till people read it. I hope they love everyone as much as I love them. Like, they really came alive, and I don't know if it has to be because of the first person, like you said. It's just so intimate. All of them become like real live people to me. And even now I'm like, I wonder what they're doing. Like, obviously I'm done writing, so in my brain they're not doing anything, but still, what are they doing?
Yes, I agree with you on that. I started writing my first epistolary book in January. And it's very intimate, like a first person, because it is basically first person, these letters back and forth,
Right.
emails back and forth. And it is amazing how much they take up space. You're going, I wonder what they're going to do about this. Oh, I should, and you do feel like you know them in a way that sometimes I think you and I both write close third person. So where there is an intimacy that close third person does naturally, but there's a gap that we breach when we go into this first person epistolary kind of thing that you can't breach with third person.
Right. I've seen a lot of reviews mention about her thoughts, and I think that's exactly what it is. Like, you're really in their mind. You get to see like all the neurotic worrying people do. Like, we all do it.
What do you mean? I don't know what you mean.
Oh yeah. Like, we all do it, but you get to showcase it in first person, which it can be humorous, it can be sad. I mean, there's so many ways you can go through it, and it's like at the end you're like, I know this person, or I've been in similar situations, and I can totally understand how she feels, even if she's a celebrity.
Yeah, so much fun. I'm so excited about the story. All right, so to that next question, researching for this, you talked about the books you got to research. You talk about getting to put it in the city. Did you find some challenges between what you've been used to with small town versus city, or was there the same kind of feel, I mean, as a writer for the most part, or did you come up with any bumps switching from one to the other?
I did worry if it wouldn't come across as authentic. I've never been to New York City, and a lot of times I take the easy way and I make up a fictional town. Exactly. Because you can create how you want it to be. Sure, you might base it off a real place, but in the end you get to make it your own. So I had to use the little orange guy on Google and drop them down on streets, and I was like, okay, what does it look like? And I went on YouTube, and from tourists to people who live there, kind of get that vibe of like what they're experiencing. So that was my real worry with putting it in a city, especially New York City. It's so notable. And I was like, I hope I do it justice.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, so I've not visited New York City either, so I wouldn't know what if you had anything wrong or not. I'm definitely a small town girl. I'm curious. Okay, so in the middle of all this, do you have a favorite of the three friends?
A favorite book of Three Friends?
Okay. Of those three, did you like one character over the other? Those three friends.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Are you going to say who?
I don't know. I kind of want to, but I don't want to influence people.
I see. Okay. What about profession-wise? Of the three professions the friends have, which would you like to try, or would you daydream about the most?
That's a really good question. I really liked Holiday, the pop singer. I can't sing, so I'll throw that out there right away. I can't sing, but I love to sing so much, and I do like to write songs if they pop in my head. Like the songs that I wrote in the story, I wrote those.
Oh, cool. How great is that?
It was so much fun. But yeah, I can't sing, so that kind of goes, throws that one out. And then the other one, like Octavia, when I was researching about ballerinas, it's so beautiful. I can't even imagine contorting my body like that. Not at all, especially now that I'm older.
It makes me hurt. I watched that and I'm like, something is sore tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Like my knees would not allow that. No, sorry. But it's beautiful to dream about.
Yes. No modeling then, huh? That's not your top one that you would choose.
I'm 5'1", and I'm generous with that 5'1". I gave it a little nudge, so no modeling.
That's so funny. Okay, so last question, and then if you have any questions or you have any extra things you'd like to add, that would be awesome. Okay. If you were given the opportunity to interview another author that you've really enjoyed reading, you want to learn more about them as an author, alive or dead, but let's go live right now.
Okay.
Goes down a little bit, because whenever people do the live or dead, they're going, there are a lot of dead people in the world. It's hard to get that narrowed down. If you could think of one author, I'm not going to say your favorite author because that's really also too hard to think about on the spot. If you could think of one author you would really enjoy just talking with, who would that be, you think?
Oh, wow. I don't know. The dead question would have been easier for me.
Okay, do dead question.
Definitely Jane Austen would be my pick because I love all things Jane Austen. Pride and Prejudice is my favorite. I've watched every version. I also used a lot of her quotes for one of my books, Deck the Shelves. Like, I would totally want to sit with her and pick her mind. We could talk about fashion of her time. Like just so much you could talk about with her.
Oh yeah, and the social differences of the time. I mean, imagine how she picked those up and put them into story so seamlessly. Yes. I mean, wow.
Right, and she had to have gone unnoticed, which also, is a nod to her station in life, because she's able to observe so well. So who knows what kind of secrets she heard while she's out and about. Like, I don't know, it's just so amazing.
Yeah. And what secrets she had. Because her life is a mystery still.
Yes.
No? And it's like her brain was so active. I think she had to have been like the ultimate of introvert people, as far as constantly having this very active mental world and in a very small social influence. I mean, not a large group of people, not a lot of traveling. You stayed mostly around where you grew up and were born. So to have that kind of imagination, she was serving a lot.
Definitely. I always say that my brain is like a bunch of active tabs from the computer. Yeah. Like, you just keep clicking exit, but they're like, where is the end in sight?
I can't relate to that at all. I'm with you completely. Sometimes I wonder, I'm not diagnosed with ADHD, but there are times when I think that my brain is so active, something else has to be going on up there to keep all of it going.
I think we just we did it to ourselves, basically. We started writing, started dreaming, and now our brain is like, all right, next story, next character. Like, what are you doing around reading? Why are you watching TV?
Now it's normal. And so I remember one time saying to somebody, I'm like, boy, these people won't leave me alone in my head. I have to go write them down. And that was a non-writer. And they were like, and I work in a mental health facility, so you can imagine you hear something like that, people are like, Pepper? Like, no. I know they're not real, and I know they're fictional, and it's my characters. I've got to go do something with them because they're always there. You always have something to think about. It also helps you that you're not lonely very often because you constantly have friends around and nobody else can see. Yeah, it's weird.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, okay, so what would you like to share about the book, or if you have any questions you'd like to ask either readers or me, anything like that to end off this interview?
Wide open. I guess a question for the reader would be, which of your non-believing friends would you recommend this book to? And how would you get them to give it a chance? Like, what would you say to them about the story? And then for you...
I love that question, by the way. That is a fantastic question.
Thank you. For you, I want to hear about this story, The Letters.
Oh,
Love.
Okay. Well, someday it will reach the light of day, but right now it's still in the works, but it has been so much fun. It's about a young woman who's like 30, and her cousin sets her up on a dating service without her knowing. And so the whole first few messages are within the family. So she was raised with 3 of her cousins because her parents were killed in a car accident when she was young. So she was, assimilated into that family as one of them. And so they treat her like she's family, and how family get involved in every part of your life. And so that you got these the texts and the emails between them starting, and then you have all these really bad choices from the dating site.
Nice.
Until the right one comes on, and she doesn't believe that it's really, because he's so great. She doesn't believe he's real, so she thinks it's one of her cousins pretending to be the guy. And so she just is completely vulnerable and transparent, and all these
kill the guy behind you,
slamming the guy.
Just felt when that guy shot you behind you.
Exactly who he says he is. So it's this fun, I don't know that I've read an epistolary romantic comedy before, and so that's what this one is. And he is actually I got to make a fictional sovereign country, and he's from this country because the whole series is called the Foreign Spouse Initiative, and so it's all about this country trying to they're trying to get more population variety.
I love this.
It has been. I wrote it through quarantine, and I tell you what, it was the thing that helped me stay positive, because it was so funny. It was so there was just so much sweetness and light between the characters, and I got to have my imagination.
Why do I always die by
create the way I want to. I've made a map for it and everything, and
stop blowing me up.
So that's someday that story will come. I'm still working on other things, and I can't get back to it right now. But I wrote, no lie, I wrote 45,000 words in a month.
That's awesome.
Because it wouldn't stop.
That's great. But those are the best. Like I did the same thing with these. I wrote them all back to back.
How is not done?
I don't think it was a full month, maybe a month and a half. But yeah, once I started, they wouldn't stop talking. Like I had to get their stories out.
Isn't that so much fun?
It is. It really, really is. I love it when it happens like that.
I know it doesn't happen like that nearly enough.
It does not.
Sometimes it's like, get the words out.
Like, please talk to me, please.
Right. I totally get that so much. But this one was really, it was one of those, like you're talking about with your 3. It was one of those where it was there they were all the time, right at the surface, ready to go. And it's that one and another one, my story that's going to be set in Egypt. The two of those are vying for my attention when I have to write something very different. So I'm sitting here going, don't talk to me. I have to talk to these people right now. Stop. I have to focus here. So yeah. All right. I'm so glad we got to chat today, and I would encourage everybody to go out and get this book if you're really interested and you enjoy contemporary romances, if you enjoy humor, if you enjoy a sisterhood of friendship that's also part of this story, a deep spiritual thread, and just a fun story. Check out the reviews on Amazon. They are fantastic. Or check out the reviews on Goodreads, and make sure you have an opportunity to get this. I'm so excited. Mine arrives later this week, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. So thank you so much for being with me today, Toni.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.